made, I know she made other people feel the same way. It was unconditional. I love it.
There you go. Anybody else?
I don't even know where to start, actually.
Take your time.
No rush, man.
I didn't even see you come in. I don't know if everybody knows this. Me and Ann were together almost 30 years. She's the love of my life, and she was everything to me. I mean, I don't even know how to explain what she was to me. I love her family, I love her friends, you know. She was a little bit of everybody. She only thought of everybody, she never thought of herself.
Mm-hmm.
She put her happiness behind everybody else's. As long as everybody else was happy, she was happy. I can't tell you how much I love her and how much I miss her. She helped me raise my son. And, you know, I wish he was here today, but he had other things he had to do. He just got back from Kuwait, and I wouldn't say that the things he had to do was more important, but he had other things he needed to do to make what they call it, happy wife is a happy life. You know, I do wish he was here, and I do wish a few more people were here that she really loved. You know. But she wouldn't hold it against them. She would not hold that against them at all. You know, and I'm not going to hold it against them. The only thing I can say is, I hope one day when I do pass away, I do get to see her again. I love you, Ann. I hope you're in here seeing this. I'm not going to forget you. I'm not going to let anybody forget you. I love you. But you do know that. You already knew that. That's basically all I can say right now. I don't know what to say. Just, I love everybody in this room, you know. That's all I can say. I mean, there's more stuff I wanted to say, but I don't think I can say anything else.
You need to hold this one. You want to-
I'm sorry.
Take a video. Take a video. Take a picture. This way.
We'll get through this, we'll get through this.
Take a video.
No, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have got through this last week. I really appreciate you. I would like to say some other things, but I don't think I can.
If you think of some more, you just let me know, okay? Now, I believe in love stories, so how did you meet, and what was the best thing you liked?
Oh, man, how did we meet?
You're gonna do his grandma.
All right, I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
All right. This is how we met. There's this thing called the internet. A long time ago. I don't know if I know what the internet is now, but back then it was holy moly. Me and my ex had been broken up for a little while. My son was 3 years old. And we went to Walmart to shop, you know. And as we were shopping, I was looking at clothes and stuff for him. And I'm looking at clothes, I'm like, hey, I think this might fit you. Hey, Warren, look at, and I turn around, he's gone.
Little.
I flip out. I'm yelling for him, looking all over for him, I can't find him. I run up to the front, I say, has anybody come out with a little boy? They're like, no, not, they probably did, but they're like, no. I was like, well, it's a little kid about this tall, and his name's Warren. And so they called the manager over. The manager had people waiting at that exit, had waited at the other exit. Everybody went looking for him in the store, right? And so I was showing the manager where we were at, what we were doing, and where everybody's calling his name. And I never will forget this. I said, Warren, where are you at? And I hear just a little laugh. A little laugh. And so I'm like looking, and I'm looking around, and I opened up, the round carousels that have the clothes on, I opened it up, and he's right there, he's laughing. And I grab him, and I'm shaking him, I was so mad at him, right? But we got home, I didn't know how to discipline, I didn't want to spank him, beat him, whatever, and I got home, and the internet was very, very new. And there was these, it's like not chat rooms, but chat room for how to raise your kid and how to discipline your kids and all this. And so I told them the story, people were commenting, and the sexy green eyes commented. I don't know if you knew that's what your mama's name was online. And so we were talking, just chit-chatting. She was like, she had kids. So she was like, don't freak out or anything. That's just what kids do. So we talked for, just type talking. They didn't have the actual physical talking. It was so good. And next thing I know, we started talking on the phone. Then I was like, I'd like to see you, and I got on a plane and went to Louisiana. I met your mom. And the next thing I know, Kathy and your mom came to see me.
Partners in crime.
Yeah.
They are.
She told me about the trip back. Kathy had this little Geo Metro, and they had 4 flat tires on the way back home. And they were running on the side of the road with 4 flats. And a farmer, he didn't know it, but they ran into a field full of red ants. And a farmer takes his car out there, and he comes out and he says, you need help? So he took 4 tractor tires. He had 4 tractor tires. And he laid on the ground and was changing their tires in an ant bed full of red ants. They said he got eaten bad. But they made it home, and that's when I met. That's when I met Danny, and I met you, met Sandra. You were a little kid, you and your sister, and Rami, which is one of the people I was hoping that would be here. That's her granddaughter. That's literally how we met.
What was the best thing you liked?
Continue to video.
There's not anything I didn't like about her. I loved her unconditionally. Everybody called me Witch, but she is actually the reason why I'm the person I am today.
Yeah.
Most favorite pastime,
Yeah.
arguing.
Yeah. Actually, you know what?
Exchanging opinions.
Her favorite pastime is arguing. It really is. She has to get the last word in. That was her. But it was alright, Sometimes we had our disputes and stuff. Sometimes I'd go walking off. You see me walk off. I'd be walking for, miles. She'd be driving around behind me with the car. See if we can make this work. And, I regret doing that. I really do. I wouldn't call it a hot temper, but I was temperamental, I guess. But she showed me the ways by, how to be responsible. How to be responsible for my family. This is all my family right here. Not everybody, there's some people inside. But it was just myself and my son. And she gave me her family. And she has a big family. And I'm glad to be part of your family. I really am. Y'all are my family. I think that's about it.
Okay. That's right.
Thank you for letting me share.
I need to hear that love story. I mean, what's better than a sexy Cajun with green eyes, right?
Actually, you know what? She was Cajun. She was Cajun.
Well, I figured I saw the purple hat back here. Anybody else want to say anything? This is really healthy.
Yeah, I want to add a little bit for mine. So, good afternoon. Momo is my mother-in-law. She has a big part in my life. She's always with us, with my family. Donnie's my husband, her son, and her daughter. She never missed any events, special occasion with my family. She's always behind us. She always put together with us. Like I said, one is she forgot how to take care of herself, but she never missed calling us. Like, I remember a day before she died, she called us while me and Donnie went fishing. I didn't know that was the last voice I can hear from her. So, like, as a reminder, we're not gonna be dwell on this death of Momo, but it's the beginning of a new life. Like I've learned as a mother to Didi, we have to celebrate life each day. As soon as we're here together, we can see each other. There's a social media, you know. I think Momo always give us that, like, life that we have to connect each other regardless if we're seeing or not, you know. Momo never missed sending us cards on Christmas, birthdays. She always gave us a special gift, you know. She's not buying really expensive gift for herself. Whatever I want, whatever everyone wants, she buy for us. And not because of money, it's because like she loves every one of us, you know. And that's something that I have to remember Momo. She's very giving, very kind, very loving, caring. She always remember every birthday. She has this calendar, all the birthdays, all the anniversary, every occasion that we have in our family. And I want you to remember Momo as a very loving, smiling all the time, you know. Look at her face. If you look at her, she thinks like she don't have an illness, like really like serious one. Because she wants you to feel that she's okay all the time. She makes sure everyone is okay. And I saw this morning, I was doing my chicken thing. I always involve her with my chicken. I saw this huge butterfly, and I know that's her. And there's like something in me, like I want to honor her, not because of the good times that we have, you know. She teach me how to drive. I don't know how to drive. When I got here, I was 30 years old, you know, and my car is waiting. He said, if you don't know how to drive, no one will drive it for you, you know, because everyone is busy. She taught me how to drive, because when me and Donnie ended up driving, we fight the whole time, you know. But with her, I get back with her. It's like, you know, how are you gonna disrespect your mother-in-law driving, you know, that. So she teach me everything. I failed once in my exam. She said, Jonah, you can get the book and read the book, not in a computer, because when I see mistake, and I panic, because the next question I block out, because I don't know what's the next question if I fail. So she told the receptionist, we need a book here. She's not taking the exam in a computer. She's taking the exam in a book, so I got perfect for the second time, you know. And she continued. She's very patient in me, and so we have a strong head, me and her. But I always respect her. I love her so much, and I miss her every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? This is very good.
Bear with me. We'll see if I can do this.
Sit down.
My mom, Sandra, was one of Momo's kids. We lost my mom about 9 years ago now. And I think it's so difficult for me to speak because she was the spitting image of Momo. So I have a very singular view of Momo through my mom, where I've only ever had positive interactions with Momo, but my mom would tell me all sorts of funny stories, right? Like about her getting spanked You know, probably rightly or deservingly so, because my mom was always one of these like trouble children, at least from my perspective. You can tell me how
Free
true this is. Yeah, free spirited.
Yeah.
She'd always bring home boys that she thought that Mama would hate.
We should like them all.
Yeah, she liked them all. Definitely. But no, it's so true. Mom always gave much more than she took. Yeah, my mom was the same way. And I think the last present she gave me and my wife just got married was this like hand mold where you clasp hands and like you know get some sort of plastery substance so you can have something to memorialize your love. I'll think of her every time I look at it. So yeah, everyone here today, love you. Even those of you I haven't spoken to, love to get to know you more. So feel free to come up and say hello.
Thank you, Brenda. You gonna say something a little bit to Mama?
Anybody else? I don't know her. Yeah, I don't want you, I want you to just, I'm just open, because I'm learning, so. Anybody else want to? Okay. I have a feeling that there are times now in the future when you're all gonna get together for different things. And that would be another occasion if you said, well, I didn't say anything the day that the minister was here, but something came to me. I mean, you just go ahead and share what you want to share. I would also like to share an idea with you that I promote an idea with all my families that I do services for. And that idea is that I would ask you to consider buying for yourselves a very nice beeswax candle, hopefully in maybe the favorite color that she liked. She had a favorite color. And I'll tell you why I'm advising you to consider doing that, because I advise all my families to call that a memorial candle, a family memorial candle, so that when you have Christmas and Thanksgiving and birthdays and holidays and anniversaries, when you're all gathered at a table especially, you would bring out your memorial candle, and you would light it, and you would let her be with you in that candlelight. It's just a symbol, but at the same time, it's still remembering her. And so I would ask you to consider doing that. And the families over the years that have done that have told me what a difference that has made, because it ensures that we will always include her, whatever the occasion is, you know. So just a thought to share with you. Now, they brought this in to me, and I looked at it quickly, but I want to make sure I said some of these things too. Whoever wrote this did a very fine job writing this. For example, the first word that caught my eye was you consider her a matriarch for your family. Not every woman becomes a matriarch, like not every man becomes a patriarch. But a matriarch is a spiritual title. And what that means is that the sum of all love and spirit flows through that person down into other generations, so that it can flow to other generations that aren't even here yet. See, there's still what we call the unborn generations that aren't here yet. And they'll need to know these pictures, they'll need to know your stories, they'll need to know your love story. So matriarch was a very important word to include in this writing, and whoever wrote that did a very fine job. Then it says she had a love for animals. Yeah. And there's actually, I won't quote the whole thing, but there's the 12th chapter of the book of Job is actually a tribute to people who love their animals. And the opening verse of the 12th chapter of Job goes like this. So just consider all of your animals and bring them to you, and your animals will tell you their wisdom. So it's like animals contain a wisdom about life. And so the 12th chapter of Job says to, well, bring your animals, love your animals, and make them a part of your family. You know, my animal is a part of my family. When I go home today, my wife will be at work, but my dog will greet me and love me until my family comes home. See, so I think I'm glad it showed love for animals. And then it talks about our family and names you all by name. And the reason that's important is because everybody who's listed here, you have to understand, everyone becomes part of her legacy. So here's the definition, my definition of legacy. Okay, everything a person stood for, everything a person gathered, everything that was a blessing to everyone through that person, everything that she ever did and stood for, all that needs to go to somebody and then through somebody. Okay, to somebody, through somebody. Because there is the next generation not yet born. See? So for now, these names, you people, you are her legacy, and that legacy will continue to grow when the other folks show up. Okay? Hope that makes sense to you. And then, of course, the word companion shows up in this writing. And the last thing I'll say about that is that's one of the greatest words in the world for people who love each other, is companion. And I'll tell you why that's a great word. It's actually, it is a spiritual word, and actually comes from the Latin of the church. And so what a companion is, somebody who brings bread for the journey. The person who brings bread for the journey. So the word companion tells you, you don't have to live life alone. You don't have to travel alone. You'll never have to be alone again, because I'm going to be your companion. And the word bread in there is symbolic, it's not actual, it's symbolic. And so what a companion is it's the person you love the most, and they feed your soul the most. So you fed her soul, and she fed your soul. And that's what makes you true companions. Okay. All right. Now, this, I can call you a young lady, can I? I can call you a young lady.
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I love it.
So when I came in, she was my greeter today,
Mm-hmm.
and she greeted me, and then she thanked me, but then she began to tell me a story, and I stopped her a little bit, and I said, tell me that again, and she told me the story again, and that's when I said to you, I need to run back to my car. You remember that? I said I have to go back to my car.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to tell you why I had to go back to my car. Okay? It all fits. This will all fit. Years ago, when I was a young pastor, I was serving my first congregation. I was in Winter Park, Orlando, Florida. Okay? Which is a crazy place to live, because that's where Mickey and Minnie live. So I had to leave my people in Florida to come to Columbia, because I was offered my hospice work, which is what I wanted to do with all my heart. I wanted to be a hospice chaplain. So I had to leave Florida, come here. Anytime you leave people, you have to say goodbye to people you love. Right? So the people who couldn't get it through their heads while I was leaving was the kids. And I'll tell you why. Because if you tell a child you love them, and then you tell a child, I'm leaving you, they don't get that. Well, if you love me, why are you leaving me if you love me? That kind of thing. So the kids of my church were sad about me leaving. And they bought me this toy. This is my toy. It belongs to me. They gave it to me in March of 1986. So it's pretty old, right? So they brought it up to me and they presented it to me at my going away. And I'm a very tender-hearted person, so I started to cry. I'm very tender-hearted. And then I kept holding it to my breast, you know, and I was trying to find each child's pair of eyes. I was trying to say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was trying to find every child, and I was trying to speak to them. So the last two things I said to those children were these two words. I said, you know, kids, I said, I'm always going to love you, and I'm always going to remember you. That just flowed out of me. Right? And then I began this journey being a chaplain to the dying, to the grieving. And a couple of years later, I found out in myself that that's what I've been helping people do for 40-some years. I'm helping you to love her. And I'm helping you to remember her. Like I won't be this big part of her life, but I'm part of her life today because I'm doing her service. And someday they'll say, well, we're so grateful for that. That was a nice chaplain that came in for our service. So I'm here to love her and remember her, and that's why you're here too. So I thought I was done having more words to tell the kids. So I held it up real high in the church so everybody in the church could see. There's about 500 people there that day. And when I came back down, when I brought it back down, I bowed to them. And then I took my gift and I laid it on a gift table they had at the ceremony. And I heard all the kids running back to their moms and dads. When I turned around, all the children were gone except one little boy. He was 9 years old. Now, how old are you, little boy? 9. He was 9. So he'd be a 9-year-old for this story. I don't know why that. So I turned around. You know what that kid was doing? He had his hands on his hips like that. Yep. And I found out that day if a kid put their hands on their hips, they're about to tell you something. So I looked at that little boy's face and I said, honey, did I get this wrong? Did I do it wrong? Why are you still up in there? Everybody else is gone and you're here. And he went like this and he said, well, you're not done yet. And he was just that stern too. You're not done yet. So I thought, wow, I did miss him. So I came and got a little bit closer. And I wasn't standing over him anymore. I got down eye to eye like we're right now, you're eye to eye. I said, what did you say? Well, he didn't quite know how to help me. So this is what he said. He said it the second time. He said, Pastor Mark, he says, you're just not doing it. And now I know he's pleading with me to find something that I don't know. So I went back to the table and I said, you know something that I don't, so help me out. So he took his hand, and instead of pointing at him, he took his hand, he says, Pastor Mark, he said, please just show it. He went like this. He said, please just show it. So I knew there was something here. I didn't know what it was. I pulled it, I twisted it, I scratched, I was doing everything I can. There's something here, and I'm trying to bring it out because I know there's something here. And finally, my right thumb caught this seam. There's a seam right here. And I said, that's it. I found it. So see, when I came in the door today, first thing she said to me was, I know we're supposed to be doing this because I saw a butterfly. And I thought, I gotta go back to that car. Because I didn't bring this in. I left it in the car. So, matter of fact, tell you what, I'm gonna let you hold it till we're done, all right? So here's the two promises, and I want to follow up on something you said. The two great promises are, God said, I'm going to make everything new again. Okay? And that's what happens with the caterpillar and the butterfly. Caterpillar dies, doesn't exist anymore. We die, we still exist. Why? Because God says, you know something? Yeah, I'm not done with you yet. I'm gonna make everything new again. And has been made new. My parents are there's many people you know and love that are brand new. Right? The other great promise is Jesus said, before he went to the cross, he said to the disciples, in a little while you won't see me, but after a while, we'll all see each other again. And that became the second promise, which is what you kind of mentioned a little bit ago. You know, I kind of want to hope I see her again, or I want to believe I'll see her. But see, that's the promise. He said, in a little while you won't, but after a while, you will. So I really want to affirm to you that Anne is brand spanking new. I'm also affirming to you that each one of you are going to see her again. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Okay, let me play this beautiful piece of music and then we'll kind of move to the conclusion here.
It scared me a little bit.
you're more than welcome to join my voice as we would pray the prayer that Jesus taught the church. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. In the great divine mystery of this life, every single one of us is waited for by a loving and a merciful God. And in that same great and divine mystery, every single one of us is now waited for by all of those who have gone ahead. And may the love and respect of your family and all of your friends honor your life and cherish your gifts. May your name and your spirit and your legacy guide everyone into deeper truths and even greater joys. The psalmist declares that the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting unto everlasting. And from the heart and the lips of Jesus come these words: I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, they shall live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Give rest, O God, to this your servant on earth and your very own precious child Anne, at a gathering now with all your children, where there is no more death, and there is no more sorrow, and there is no more pain. The Lord bless her and keep her. The Lord's face shine on her with all grace and mercy. The Lord look upon her life with great favor, and grant to her an eternal peace and a very holy light. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. That will conclude our service to honor and remember her today. So I thank you for asking Mike and all of them if they knew somebody that Mike could come, because I was glad to come. But I'm really glad that when I came, that the first story I heard was a butterfly story, because that helped me too. So I hope all of you will have a meaningful day the rest of your day. And again, I invite you to come together as often as you can to love and serve one another. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pastor.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Keep telling that story. Keep telling that story.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah, there's tissues.
Well, it was just a cover over Kmart Club.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude.
I thought it was funny.
Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I tell you, does it make sense to you now? That's why I had to bring you in. I gotta bring you
It's nice meeting you. Yeah, you too. Thanks for. I try to get some good photos for y'all. Yeah, it's nice to meet you, man.
And I know there's something she was like I'm not comfortable with coming back here. I want to look for somebody who blesses me.
Well, sure, we have a little cake for you.
Thank you so much.
I like what you've done with the roses. Yeah, that's very beautiful.
There's a rosary. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I'm glad that means something to you.
I was raised as Catholic, so see, one of the pictures there was this mom.
Okay.
She was like 5 months old, and the mother-in-law was with us. She's a Catholic.
I lived in Rome for 30 days, 1997, and I worshiped there the last Sunday of June, 1997. And Pope John Paul was at the altar, but we were all glad that John Paul was with us. But just a little late church. And once we saw her, it was like he was old. You know who that was? My Mother Teresa.
Oh, her.
So I got to worship with Mother Teresa one time.
She's being with the son before.
She's very good. That was June. That was June of '97.
He's a happy
And by September of '97, she passed away. So we were all said, well, glad we got to worship with Mother Teresa. I'm Lutheran, but you know, we Lutherans and Episcopalians and Catholics, we wear the same things, and we have a lot of the words that are similar, you know, that kind of thing. And I've got many rosaries at my home. This town, by the way, Columbia is famous because once a year there's actually something they call a living rosary. So instead of having people with wreaths, each person becomes a wreath. And make a big circle.
Well, that's her reason.
That's good.
And they pray, so each person prays their prayer. And by the time we're done, they pray the entire rosary. It's been people. It's a very nice service. All right, yeah. Let me, I know you're immediate family, you're a companion.
Yep.
All right, so I found this in Rome. Everyone's seen a cross of Jesus with the cross, you know, but this artist put his mother in the cross with him.
Well, that's really nice.
Yeah. See, his mother's been placed in the cross with him. And that says that we should honor women because women go the distance. Women go the distance with us, right?
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. I don't have any cash on me, but can you give me an address now? I'll send some donations for you.
We'll just think about doing that. Okay. All right.
I didn't know your love story. That's the first time I've heard that love story. Sexy green eyes.
That's Christine.
I'm Christine.
That's Brenda. This is
I've
Christine. We worked together for like last.
For like 15,
15
16
years,
years.
yeah.
We worked together also.
And her husband's Carter. He's not here.
Whatever you send, I'm just gonna use it to help somebody. Sometimes I pay, sometimes I buy veterans. Whatever you send, okay?
Okay, oh yeah, I'm both definitely. Is this kind of close?
16.
This is in the area?
You know where Slade?
Yeah, over off of, yeah, probably.
I live right next door to Slade.
think you're thirsty?
Okay, alright. Alright, if I don't send it, I'll literally come there and drop off. Okay?
That'll be fine.
The women are very strong.
No. I thought they might have some pamphlets to give out. I think they printed that out just for him.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
get
all on
some.
the website.
I'll get something together for you.
Sure, yeah.